Good night, Republic. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sports In. I hope you all have been keeping safe. Before I carry on, Lawrence, what was Edmund doing here?
Edmund.
Like, I was ready to call in sick so he can just come in. And
Yeah. I mean, Edmund, I know you're watching tonight, and in actual fact, Edmund, you're meant to be in my seat or your seat.
Did he chicken out? Because I told him you're welcome to come in on Thursday.
Yeah.
This is Thursday, and I think he forgot.
Yeah,
Or he chickened out.
I think so. But
Hi, Edmund. If you're not ever gonna come on the show, never come onto my set again.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Okay, so tonight on the show, we have a great lineup. But before we get to that, Lawrence, how was your week?
Yeah, it's I've had a emotional time.
Yeah, I know.
Lost a couple of really close friends. In fact, today I attended a funeral. But God is our refuge. He is our strength, and we will kick on from this. So I just want to reiterate this nuclear passing, please.
Yeah.
We don't want to see any more. My status on WhatsApp is like broken heart. Tears. I don't want to put those anymore. But let's talk about the show. What?
Yes.
Good things coming up.
Absolutely. So on the show, as I've mentioned last week, we're now doing Ian reviews because we have only a couple more weeks to go before we call it a year here on the show. So in the next couple of minutes, we'll be hearing from Pius Latenge, the PNGFA General Secretary. He'll be giving a Ian review, like basically reviewing the highlights, some of the challenges, and what to look forward to in the new year on their calendar. Apart from that, we also have Dikatoa and her lawyer coming in as well. This is in regards to the alleged assault charge that was the story, the big story, front page story actually. It came out in the papers prior to the Olympics. So Lawrence, it was dismissed yesterday.
It was dismissed just this week. It was a challenging time for her. She's coming on the show tonight, and she'll explain to us, what went through, and the lawyer that represented her as well. So, good on Dika, and looking forward to bigger things for her.
All right, look, these updates have a lot of following, so we will not talk much more. We will go for a break, and when we come back, you will first up hear from PNGFA General Secretary Pius Latenge. Stay with us.
Good night, PNG. Welcome back. You are watching Sports Scene right throughout Papua New Guinea. It is great to have you on this beautiful Thursday evening. Now, PNGFA football time it is, and with us in the studio, General Secretary for PNG Football Association, Mr. Pius Latenge, who's kind enough to join us tonight. GS, Mr. Latenge, good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me.
All right. Well, let's get straight into it. You've had a very busy couple of weeks. With the end of year and ensuring everything's been up to standard. Basically, we're going through all sports and getting a wrap up of each and every one of their calendar and the events, and a review of 2021. So I'll give you this opportunity now to maybe discuss about your review of 2021.
Yes. Good evening, everyone, and good to invite me, and to also to share with you some of the successes, achievements, and also challenges that we have faced in 2021. But going back to the beginning of the year, we came out from suspension of 3 years suspension, and then we were restricted, but we came out after 5 months, and that's an achievement for PNG football as a whole, and also football stakeholders in the country. Apart from the competitions, there's some highlights that I also want to share with the rest of the football family in the country. We are now free. We don't have any more restrictions from our mother body, FIFA.
The couple. So very quickly on them, they're in camp now. The coach has flown in.
We've been working very closely with the guys in the pandemic team. We have already secured the work permit we're working around to get the visa, and you would understand because of COVID-19, the visa offices in PNG has closed, so we are working online, but we anticipate to get him end of this week or next week.
Okay.
To when he comes in, he goes straight into isolation, and he should join the camp.
Yeah. So what's the plan there? He'll pretty much be here most of December, and then most likely in January, February, they need to fly off?
Yeah, he comes in he comes in, goes straight on a 7-day quarantine. Everything has been set already. The good thing is we have put in the program. He's given us a program, and that's the program that is now currently been implemented by the assistant head coach Bob Morris in Leh.
Okay. Okay, and the guys are going to Leh for the camp there?
They're already in Leh. This is the 3rd day in camp, and from the assistant head coach Bob Morris, the veterans have picked up very well, and that's what we want to see. We want the senior players to pick up and take the lead now. This is their time.
Okay, you talked briefly about your flagships, the NSL. It's been a very challenging year because of the pandemic. What update can you give us on that?
It has been very challenging. I guess we are all also. It's a big challenge to adapt to the nuclear passing at the moment, and because of the misconceptions, informations circulating around the social media, Facebook particularly, and also on the streets. People are reluctant to abide by the nuclear passing control measures, and we didn't complete a women's national league because of the lockdown, and it has been prolonged, and now the picture looks a bit similar. Yeah.
So at this point, there has not an official word yet, but we are anticipation in the next couple of days that an announcement will be made.
There was a resolution passed by the management team, and it's now in the process of vetting before it goes to the board for the endorsement.
Okay. Now, very quickly as we wrap up, General Secretary, 2022, in a snapshot, what's in store for PNGFA?
Well, beginning of 2022, we have the national teams. They will be traveling out to Qatar for the qualifiers. The women's team should be gearing up in their preparation. The head coach is coming towards the end of this year as well, this month as well. The National Women's League comes on board. There is we have a men's league. We have a youth league we want to trial out as well. These are under 17s, 15s. And there is a plan. We are going to work on a concept beginning of next year, and it's from President. He wants us to create another platform, and it's going to be a big challenge for us, but we have to start something for us to develop, and that's the Premier League. We're looking at that concept. It's still in a discussion.
All right, no worries, Mr. Latenge. Again, thank you so much, General Secretary. On behalf of Dini and I and the entire Sports Scene crew, we also want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
No worries. All right, there you go, General Secretary, PNGFA, Mr. Pius Latenge. We're going to take a short time out now on Sports Scene, and we'll be back with more right here. Good night, Papua New Guinea. Welcome back to Sports In. We are now talking a bit of weightlifting with our champion weightlifter, Dika Toa, who's with us, and also with us in the studio, the represented Dika in a court case that she was in, Keith Iduhu. They're both here in the studio with us. Both of you, good night to you.
Good night,
Good night, Laura.
All right, Dika, first of all to you, let's talk about the Olympics. It was back in August, but very quickly, how was the Olympics to you?
Firstly, thank you, Laurie, for having me on the show once again. Talk about Olympics. Wow, that was another experience in life. Despite the circumstances that I was going through.
Yeah, I mean, it was only your 5th consecutive.
Never know, there might be another one. So yeah.
Okay.
It was very challenging, but otherwise, I'm really grateful, and I'm glad that I attended it despite my circumstances. And Olympic Games is a new unique event, and only the best in the world, attend that event. So, just being part of it is something that you will always look back to, and tell your kids tell everyone, maybe your grandkids, along the way.
Absolutely.
So,
You spoke about circumstances. So this was definitely a very, very challenging preparations of Olympics. First of all, the 1-year deferral. That must have been a really big challenge. And we spoke about that earlier on this year. But you also had an issue. And so we want to sort of bring that up to speed. It was front page of newspapers. You were not in town at the time. So what happened around that time?
Well, I was called up, to go into the police station 2 days before my departure to go to Australia for my preparations for the Olympic Games. I was, like you said, I was not in town when the news came up, so it was quite difficult and very stressful at the same time, because I have Olympics on the other hand, and then I had to think about something that I was accused of. I was juggling a little bit, but I'm sure because I've always had, things committed to the Lord, and I prayed about it, and and God is always with me, and I believe in that, and
Awesome.
And all my successes are because God gives me the strength and the life that He did. Like Jeremiah. Before you are in your mother's womb, He knows what is happening in our lives.
He knows the plans.
So whatever plans we may make, but God has the last say.
Absolutely. Very well said there, Dika. And God's definitely on your side, in all of us our side. You also needed to really get engaged to a lawyer, and that's probably why Keith is here from Pacific Legal Group. So just for Keith, if you can just explain your Pacific Legal Group's association with Dika.
Just before Keith takes over, I'd like to say thank you to Pacific Legal Lawyers for taking this case. They were the first ones that put up their hand as soon as they heard that I was being charged and for an assault case. I'm very grateful, and I'm glad that they took it because
Well, thank you, Laurie, and thank you, Dika, for the opportunity to present this evening. So we got a call from the Olympic Committee, basically that there was an issue concerning some allegations against Dika for an allegation of assault. So understanding very well that she was representing the country, and that at such a time, and the fact that she had already left the shores for her preparations, I thought it was quite needful to step in and see if we can establish a situation. So allow the athlete to prepare as best as possible, considering these are the Olympics. It's not necessarily any other sporting meet. So understanding the circumstance and understanding more so that this would be her 5th consecutive Olympic as a woman, is quite a bit of an achievement for this country to have Dika represent not only the country, but we are indeed a tribal nation, and as a Motuan, I felt that it was important to step in and provide the legal assistance that she required.
Nice.
And so, to throw in the service free of charge. So the firms the partners got together and decided that we should take the case.
So earlier on this week, the case was.
Yes, finally. Yesterday, I think the 17th of November, the case was dismissed on account of lack of evidence and to support the charges. So
the court wasn't too pleased about that. So we're just grateful that justice is finally and has been served, and it was served expeditiously, actually, on this account. I should thank the courts for that speedy return. There were some hiccups along the way as to adjournments, but nevertheless, when the matter did get the light of day, great opportunity, and the courts rightfully discharged the charges.
Dika, going back to you, you put yourself as a woman that you want young kids to aspire to. This must have been a really challenging time for you.
Yeah, it has been because, like you said, a lot of the young girls and women especially have looked up to me, and, they aspire to be like me. But when this came up, and with the newspapers putting a photo of me with my medals around my neck.
Front page.
Yeah, front page, it was really heartbreaking, because you tend to realize that not everybody appreciates what you do. There are some people who are, who are against what you do, or they may be, I don't know what the right word is, but they just tend to, not support what you do, and but I'm really grateful that this is over, and it's a weight off my shoulder, and I just have to look forward to the future and concentrate on my other qualification events or my
Absolutely. Keith, before we sort of end off here, any sort of last words you want to sort of reiterate from this relationship?
No, thank you, Laurie, for that question. Really, like I said, the ultimate reason, apart from the facts that I had outlined earlier, to why the firm had agreed to take the case, is that Dika Toa is an icon. It doesn't get any better than that. And to have a client of her caliber, and she presents well as an ambassador of this country. We should we should support our athletes in every possible way. So we've considered that as a back office support to her preparations, and we're hopeful that and she's indeed a medal prospect. Even at the upcoming Commonwealth Games. So kudos to her, full credit. We're always here to support and assist where we can. Like you said, it's a great role model for our young girls. I have a daughter, I'm sure every parent with a daughter or a child is these results don't turn out overnight. There's a lot of hard work in the background happening, leading up to any major events, sporting events. So unfortunate circumstances, but I think we come through. I think Dika ended up 4th in a division. Fantastic results and great foundation for the next events that are upcoming next year.
Absolutely. Very quickly now, Dika, Commonwealth Games next year.
Yes,
that's in sight. Yeah.
Yes, that's in sight. I have my. I was supposed to attend World Championships in Tashkent in December, but because of this case, I had to pull back. And clear everything out. But I have a final qualification event, which is in Auckland. So in February, I will be, I'm preparing for that.
It's business as usual.
Business as usual. But all in all, and I'd like to thank Pacific Legal Lawyers for taking this case, and PNG Olympic Committee, who have been, very supportive, and everybody, even the social media, everybody, I saw comments which were very supportive, and that gave me the strength to continue. And I know whole of Papua New Guinea is behind me always. Absolutely. And God will bless our country. Absolutely.
Nicely said, Dika. From all of us here at Sports Scene, we want to wish you all the best. A very Merry Christmas to you, and also to Keith.
Thank you.
And I guess, Dika, I'll give you the last opportunity to wish everyone a Merry Christmas as we get into the festive season.
Okay, thanks, Laurie, for giving me this opportunity. And I'd like to wish everyone in Papua New Guinea and everyone that's overseas a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year coming ahead.
No worries. Thank you very much, Dika, and also to Keith from Pacific Legal Group Lawyers for coming in. We're going to take a short time out now, and we'll be back with more on Sports Scene.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Unfortunately, last segment here on the show, time's caught up with us, so we'll just get on straight with the final, comments or whatever. Lawrence, I'm sure you will have some reminders that you would like to make as well. But let me just point out, it was really good to have Dika just earlier on the show to speak about the alleged assault and the, how she had to deal with all of that, because during the time when it was all happening, we couldn't really, get to her or even get some comments from her. So it's really good that she's come on. And
as I said to her in the interview, she's put on a pedestal.
Yeah.
She's an icon, as Keith said. So when this came out, I'm sure the majority of the population was like, "What? Really?" Dika. So for her to have that case now be dismissed and she can move on. You can see her, strength in her, in her Christian background. She was always thankful for God, and I guess for her to get, what they say, the monkey off your back, and to move on, and kudos also to Pacific Legal Group for coming in and helping her represent her through that time. So it was challenging for her. She didn't say it, but she was woken up to that story. Imagine that. You wake up on the front page of the paper. And fortunately, I think for her, it was a good thing that she was already down south.
Yeah.
I think if it was here, then, it'd be, I think, a bit too much for her.
Yeah, true. And I'm happy all of this is now behind her, and she's looking forward to a great year next year. There's Commonwealth Games coming up.
Commonwealth Games,
Pacific Mini Games coming up, and I am sure we're looking at some more medals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Superwoman, man. She'll definitely.
Superwoman, taking on 2022.
Yeah. Bring it on.
I might just go and do some weightlifting as well. Okay. Look, we need to go now before they chase us out of this studio.
True.
I've said time's caught up with us. I think time's passed us.
It's gone. It's done.
All right, so year in reviews, we have 2 more weeks before we call it a year here on the show.
Yeah.
So for you sporting bodies out there that you would like to come on the show, share your highlights, your challenges, and what to look forward to for the new year, please contact us on phone number 312-9229, or you can email us at sports@emtv.com.pg, or you can message us on our Sports Scene Facebook page and leave your contact details, your story tip. Please leave an email address or at least a phone number, and we will get right back to you. That's about it. Be safe.
Yeah.
We will see you same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye for now.
Tomorrow, Edwin, World Holiday.